More on Narendra Modi's victory and the challenges facing India. Let's bring in our panel. Joining us now from New Delhi is Subramanian Swamy. He is nominated for a member of the upper house of the Indian Parliament. Also from New Delhi is Ritika Bhattacharya. She is CEO of the non-partisan organisation Swanity. And here in the studio is Shireen Joshi. She's an associate professor of the Walsh School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University. And from New York is Srinivas Thuravantai. He is a director of the research of the Jerome Levy Forecasting Centre. Thanks so much, all of you, for joining us from India and elsewhere. Dr. Swamy, I think we have to start with you. Congratulations to the BJP. Obviously, you're a member of the party. What made Modi's victory so complete?
I think there are multiple factors. Of course, his personality, his simplicity, and his oratory in terms of the common man's language. These played a very big role. He personally honest. That's how it has come out. Nobody has been able to pin any corruption charge against him. Then there is our government. Nobody has been accused. No minister has been accused of any corruption like in the past. And we have prosecuted prominent members of the opposition, Ms. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi. They are out on bail in a corruption case. Similarly, Mr. Chidambaram, the finance minister, is also on bail. And there are some others also on bail who have been ministers. And none of that was true about the BJP. Then, of course, this terror has created a new sense of nationalism. And then Modi's ability to retaliate by bombing parts of Pakistan across the international border, that had a huge effect. And finally, the new voters who have come in the last 5 years, the younger generation is definitely much more nationalistic, and they were targeted by the social media, which Modi is very keen on. And the certain neglected parts of India, the northeast, Bengal, where there was no challenge to the strong arm tactics of the chief minister, the BJP showed itself as an alternative, and so BJP is shot up from 2 seats to 16 seats now. These factors together are responsible for our victory. And there was a feeling that because of the poor performance in the economic front, it will affect us. But in Indian elections, economic issues have been having very marginal effect.
Dr. Swamy, focusing on the needs of the poorest, Modi has an interesting story in terms of himself and where he came from. Does that resonate with the Indian people? Yeah. And what about the Hindu nationalism behind the BJP? Because a lot of outsiders see a less inclusive India than perhaps before.
Well, first of all, let me say that I wouldn't call this as economics. It's microeconomics. And the question of unemployment, for example, is a serious problem. But it never came up for discussion. Because this microeconomic touching the family individually, and then they spreading the word, and others also expecting the same benefits to come. So this macroeconomic talk doesn't wash much with the poor classes. Now, as far as the Hindutva question is concerned, that actually is a uniting factor, because in the past, the votes of the Hindus used to be divided on caste lines, regional lines, linguistic lines. So people rose above all that. And that was because of the fact that we focused on the development of the Hindu freedom, or the Hindu independence, or the Hindu at least fighting the appeasement of the minorities. These things had a great deal of resonance, and people cut across caste lines and voted for us.
Dr. Swamy, yes.
Just this much. See, we also successfully divided the minorities. For instance, women, the divorce, which is called the triple talaq, where a man can divorce his wife by just sending an SMS that I'm divorcing you in Arabic. that we have abolished by law. And that had a huge effect. I mean, there are at least 21 seats we have won which are majority Muslim areas. And that's because the women voted for us. Then we have also Shias voting for us. And there are others, other different, only the what we call as the Sunni or the Wahhabi Sunni, that they didn't vote for us, and mostly the men didn't vote for us.
Dr. Swamy, I want to move to foreign policy because there was, just before this election, a big standoff,
Yes.
as you know, between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. There have been tensions with China. There has been the US pushing for India to join the quadrilateral and what the US now label the free and open Indo-Pacific, which is generally seen as code for ganging up on China. What is going to be the foreign policy of the second Modi administration?
Well, the fundamental is that we want multidimensional Indo-US relations, but we know that China is our neighbor, and we want to be friends with them, and we want to remove misunderstandings. But where we have taken a firm stand, China has also been understanding. We have not agreed to join the what is called as BRI, Border Roads something
exactly,
initiative, or whatever. It's been earlier called OBOR, yeah. On Bhutan, there was a problem, but we came to an understanding. And Modi flew to Wuhan and had a one-to-one discussion, and the matter's over. I think we would like a triangular relationship between the United States, China, and ourselves. So, and but we have commonality with Americans because we've got a huge NRI, the non-resident Indian population there. There's a democracy, it's communications much easier. But at the same time, as I say, we have what I would call as a cultural sync with China. And we would like our relations with China to be almost as good, if not somewhat less good.
So it sounds like a bit of balancing going on from New Delhi for the next administration.
Yeah, it is balancing. It is balancing. Yeah, we are not going to choose between United States and China very much.
Washington might have.
There are things that the United States can give us which China can't.
Yeah, Washington might have something to say about that. Shireen, you're sitting here in Washington.